This video is going to be a little bit more personal. It's gonna be different, and that's because I was tagged. I was tagged by Megan over at Pennies and Salt, who was originally tagged by Mariah over at the Babcocks. And the topic of this tag is finding good in this world during this quarantine within the last week or month. I think they want week, but it kind of all blends in together, so I'm just gonna do the last month. And not only am I gonna be sharing with you those good things, but I'm gonna be sharing with you the good things that have been coming out of the hardest things in my life in regards to parenting a child with Down syndrome. Oh, and make sure to stay tuned to the end because I'm gonna be tagging 5 of you guys. The first wonderful thing that has come out of this is Naomi's therapy sessions. Now, when I first heard that her therapy sessions were canceled, I was absolutely devastated. I've enjoyed taking my daughter to therapy almost every day of the week and dropping her off and having someone work with her on those things that she needs help with. Well, now we're doing teletherapy, which basically means that we contact them via iPad, mostly iPad, but we could do laptop and phone too. And they get on there, they talk to her, and they talk to me, and they're basically coaching me through these exercises and activities and obstacle courses, and they're telling me and pointing out things to me about the way that she's moving or doing something that I need to kind of keep an eye on. Okay, this has been absolutely amazing. It's just like when a parent has to homeschool for the first time, or actually a lot of you parents that are now homeschooling for the first time, you're starting to see things in your children that you've never seen before. You're starting to get to know them. You're starting to see their strengths, their weaknesses, those things that you've missed. There's this sense too of, I can actually help my child. Especially when you see it, if you have virtual school, you see it through another teacher's perspective. And as in therapy with Naomi, I'm now seeing it through my physical therapist. I've got 2 physical therapists for her, and my occupational therapist. I'm seeing it through their eyes. I've never noticed that my daughter's feet turn in and she needs to wear her braces more often. I've never noticed that. And now I notice that. I kind of hope in the future when I have other kids that are sick that we can continue to do these teletherapies when we can't come into the office. I really do. I'm actually going to make that suggestion to them because I really kind of like this. And my husband even commented, like, can we keep doing this all the time? I love the fact that we have a routine now. We never had a routine. Every day was crazy different for us. Now we're stuck at home. We eat breakfast at a certain time. We wake up at a certain time. I start lunch at a certain time. I've never had this before. Next year, when we're not quarantining, I've limited myself to 3 things outside, 4 things, therapy. We have to do therapy. 4 things outside of my home that we're going to do now. And you'll find out, and I'm really sorry if I'm going to have to break up with you guys that hang out with me on some days. But I have to put my priorities in order, and having a routine has been one of the most amazing things that we have done in a really long time. And I'm hearing my mother-in-law's voice in the back of my head going, I told you so. Number 3, I started to find out who my friends are. I think I should just stop there because the friends that are your friends are the people that call you, check up on you. I'm going to stop there because that's sad. It's good. I find out who my friends are. Okay. Another great thing that's come out of this quarantine is I get to potty train my daughter, and this is something that I've totally dreaded for a really long time. I hate potty training. I think every mother can agree with me. And because my daughter has special needs, because she has Down syndrome, potty training is going to be a little bit more challenging for lots of reasons, which you can watch the video if you want to see all the details in that, which I think they're actually going to turn out to be a really good video series, especially for those moms that are really struggling with potty training, moms that have kids that are autistic, Down syndrome, any type of physical or mental special needs. It's not easy, and you're not alone. Because life has slowed down and people are spending more time together and not, rushing through things and blowing people off, I've gotten to know my family a lot more, and we've gotten to study things and learn things together more than we ever thought we could. In fact, we've spent a lot of time outside together talking about the woods and just grass and bugs, and I've been gardening with my family. we've also discovered a love for history, which we kind of already had that love for history, but it's just kind of growing. We've been studying World War II, and the conversations that we've been having, I mean, the kids want to go visit Normandy. This is the last thing, and to me, this has been my favorite. We're believers, and I love spending time talking about the Lord with my kids. In fact, one of my New Year's resolutions was to spend at least three times a day doing a Bible study or talking about the Lord in some manner with my kids, even if I didn't want to, because there's a lot of times you just don't want to. And one of the things that kind of spurs us into this conversation about scriptures is reading this series, which I bought these books when I was pregnant with my son, because I said one day there's going to be a time where we're going to sit down and just read through all of them. And this was the time. We started with The Magician's Nephew, read it in like, I don't know, 6 days, and my kids loved it. We read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in like 2 days and watched the movie. It was amazing. That's what we did for schoolwork, is read that entire book. And we're chugging along. We just finished Prince Caspian, and now we're moving into book number 5. I mean, how many people can say that they've actually read the entire series of the Chronicles of Narnia? Not many. Usually you make it past Lion, the Witch, Wardrobe, you start on The Boy and the Horse, and then you get bored because that book kind of is slow in the beginning, and then you quit. The book gets good. If you started The Horse and the Boy, push your way through it, and the end actually gets really good. It wasn't necessarily the books themselves that made the time together wonderful, and yes, being with my family made the time together wonderful, but the conversations, the biblical conversations that we got into, the foundational conversations that we got into, I can't even describe that on camera. I can't even give you a glimpse. And even though Naomi is still 3 and probably doesn't understand anything that I'm reading, she sits in my lap and she listens and mimics her brothers and sisters. Curled up on my couch with my 4 kids, reading a book all day long that reminds us of the Lord, that honestly is probably the best thing that's come out of this entire quarantine in my household. So I am tagging 5 of you guys. I want to tag everybody, but this is what it is. It's a tag. So you 5 can tag 5 more people. I don't know. Just do it. It's cool. It's fun. My 5 channels that I'm tagging are Miss Mom's Homeschooling, Chips and Salsa Homeschooling, the Homeschool Grammy. Oh, she's gonna have some really fun stuff to say. Life in the Mundane, and Russell's Loving Life. And I am including a bonus tag. Erica Lucas, I'm gonna tag you too. I would love to see you do a video on all the good things that have come out of this quarantine in your life. So thank you guys for joining us. If you're new here, yeah, this is not my typical video, but hey, if you like my personality and you are interested in learning more about special needs and my daughter and homeschooling, then click on the subscribe button and that's what you'll get. Or you can just check out one of these other videos that I'm gonna float around my face, and we will see you in those videos. Thank you guys for joining us. I love all of you. Bye.